You're listening to The Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans. Blood is good.
Iron face, a match of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still throwing.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight. We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love you, trick. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Marina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now.
For the interview? Yes.
Let your hands go. Get out of here, Bert. Go home.
Good night.
You want the title shot at the finish? You not even lying? You want the title shot at the finish?
BoxingVoice.com.
It's why we use the word sensation.
All right, everybody, welcome back to a special edition, man. We're going to be doing a Gennady, Golovkin, Rubio 30-day weigh-in, quick little episode, couple of minutes just to talk about it because why not, right? Where else are we going to talk boxing? I need you guys in my life. Come on, don't be ridiculous. So, first things first, I guess, you already know, shout out to our sponsors, man, Audible and On It. So I hope that you guys continue to head on over there. And for everybody watching us live on YouTube, please like and comment. It's very important. So 30 days out from what some, most likely Wasan, is calling a highly anticipated fight between Rubio and Gennady Golovkin. They did a weigh-in today, and Golovkin tipped the scales at about 165 pounds exactly, while Rubio came in at 174.5. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this is because, I mean, this is Rubio's biggest fight, right? Or at this point, I mean, because he has been in with some names and maybe even bigger names than Golovkin. Definitely not all the hype that comes with a Golovkin, but this is a big fight for him, and I don't know if I should feel that he's a little bit heavy. I mean, 14 pounds, 30 days out, while you got Golovkin just 5 pounds from his fighting weight. I really don't know what to say, and that's really why I'm doing the show. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Is it good for Golovkin to be so close to 160 so soon? Does that mean that he peaked too early, or is it just Rubio being a fat ass and not taking this seriously? I mean, isn't he over there with Robert Garcia? I'm not really seeing what's going on. Why is he 174 at this point? I'm going to go ahead and, of course, take some calls as always. You know the number 646-478-3068. And we're not expecting a lot of calls. This is a spontaneous show. It's only going to be about half an hour. And like I said, we're going to be talking about this weigh-in because, again, Golovkin has all this hype behind him. He's clearly got HBO behind him. And, they pushed him on the fight game. And they let us know that Rubio isn't the best opponent, but I just feel like when a guy gets an opportunity like this, I mean, Rubio's been in Mexico fighting a bunch of nobodies for a very long time. I think ever since the loss to Chavez, if I'm not mistaken, which I will be pulling up. So, again, this is a big fight. I think he needs to take it a little more seriously. I'm not sure if 175 pounds basically is a good weight to be at 30 days before the fight. Now, I'm no fighter, so I can't say that it's going to be, difficult for him to lose it or that he'll kill himself losing it. But again, since Chavez, I mean, he's been able to rack up about 6 wins, but Marcus Upshaw and Carlos Baldemir are the names that you find on Rubio's resume. And when you're going in versus Gennady Golovkin, who truly should be called the Machine, he should have been given that name instead of Lucas Matisse, because this man is a machine. When he comes forward, he's coming to destroy. And the way that he cuts the ring off is so beautiful. And if you have a Golovkin that is already focused 30 days out and his opponent is playing catch up, I think that's a problem. I definitely think it's a problem. But that Wassan is there and he's anxious to get on because of course he's the president of the Triple G fan club, and we're gonna get him on and we're gonna get his takes because again, he's the president, right?
You're serious? You're serious?
So it is what it is, man. Gennady's all queued up. We ready to do this thing. So, in the words of Golovkin,
this is big, the best present for everybody, for TV, for my fans, for everybody, for boxing.
Wassan, talk to me, brother. How excited are you that your guy, Gennady Golovkin, is 5 pounds away from fight weight, 30 days away?
I wouldn't say I'm excited. Like, I've always known that ever since there was this interview with Abel Sanchez where he said Gennady basically walks around like that. He walks around at 167, 165. Because he fights so often and he's in camp pretty much, 8, 9 months of the year. So it's not really surprising or shocking that he's that weight. What's shocking is that Rubio is so heavy. That's really what's more shocking to me. I'm not sure how bad that is relative to other fighters who've come in that 30 months before their fight. 30 days before their fight. 174 is quite a bit. And when you watch the Elie Seckbach videos, it seems like he's always trading. He's hitting the bag. So, how heavy was he before that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I think that 30 days out, 175, that might be a little too much. Could it be because Robert Garcia was busy with Marcos Maidana? I mean, we are like 1 week removed from that. Could that be it?
It's possible. He has a lot of different people who help him out in the gym, and I guess cutting weight. They usually cutting weight is like on their last list of priorities, like mitt work and so. I'm like, even the fight in general wasn't really too anticipated for me. I'm just glad to see him staying busy, and since this is a unification bout, it really kind of gives me some satisfaction knowing that he's gonna get some version of the WBC, and hopefully in 2015 he's gonna progress that much closer to being the undisputed middleweight champion, which I think is definitely within his grasp. If not 2015, then definitely early 2016 if all goes well, and that's something remarkable.
Well, I mean, absolutely, but like you said, it is just a version. This fight, hopefully, for us fight fans, is gonna push Cotto into doing something, but that's far-fetched at this point. So you said you're not excited. Is it because it's Rubio as an opponent that's bothering you?
Not Rubio. I mean, he's a good opponent. People always bring up, his knockouts in the past. He got, stopped by Kelly Pavlik. But I mean, if you watch the Kelly Pavlik fight, he was really tentative. In the first couple of rounds, he wasn't really himself. And also, just Pavlik was huge. He was way too big, man. And I think that was like Rubio's maybe his 6th or 5th fight at middleweight. So, and it was a long time ago. He took all those shots from David Lemieux for 6 rounds, basically taking a beating from Lemieux, who has good power, as we've seen with his last fight against Guerrero. So he has a good chin. Once he got knocked out also previously to that, but those were blinding shots that could have hit anybody. And like I said, it's not just him as a fighter; it's just the style that he presents. I think it's tailor-made for Golovkin. I was really surprised when he took that fight, because all he does is basically take punishment until his opponent wears out, or sometimes he would just throw his jab on the outside, and usually he is good at smothering shots, which might give him some rounds with Golovkin, but at the end of the day, if he's not a mover, if he's just going to sit there and trade shots with Golovkin Mexican style as they promised, I can see this ending, 3-4 rounds.
Yeah,
but again, I'm excited just seeing the sub hub filled and seeing this guy's stardom grow, because there's a reason why Rubio's in there with him. It's nobody else really wants to fight him, and now it's actually been confirmed that people like Carl Froch are considering rematches with the likes of Andre Durrell and not even looking at Golovkin's way.
What do you think it's going to take for this guy to get a big name? Because if you got guys at 168 like Carl Froch that, according to you, are ducking him, and then you got Cotto, who's the lineal champion, according to you, the world, avoiding that fight for the moment, I would say. What is Golovkin going to have to do? I mean, things like weighing 5 pounds away from your fight weight 30 days out are probably also mixed into scaring guys off. I mean, not that he's doing it intentionally, but when another fighter sees that you're so serious, and then that power, that just comes with the word of mouth. I don't see how he's making it easier on himself. So what is the route that you would lay out before him?
I think his team already laid out a pretty effective route for him to take. Like I said, this is not anything new. Since 2010, when he was with his old promoters, Universum, he's been ducked even since then. When he wasn't really as refined as he is now. When you didn't know his walking around weight and all of that. Sturm declined to fight him. Big declined to fight him, and Dom was going to fight him and then pulled out. During last minute negotiations against him. And so he's pretty much used to this. I think what he needs to do is just keep dominating, and build up his name. Like what he's selling out the sub hub a month before the fight, and that is very, very impressive. He's the only other fighter besides Miguel Cotto to ever headline at MSG at the big room. So if he keeps this going, if this pattern is continuing to be the way that it is, then fighters will actually see that it is worth it to fight him. If he becomes a pay-per-view star, if he becomes able to sell on his own, then fighters will take that risk. Like Sergio Mora, he's very active on Twitter. He actually admitted that he declined fighting Golovkin when he was first coming up because the risk wasn't worth the reward. And Sergio Mora, he's been calling him out lately because now he knows that he's going to get at least a little bit of money or something that would suffice him for that risk, something proportionate, something equal. So I think that's the best route to take.
You see, that's my problem with Golovkin and his opponents. Like, if you just beat up Rubio, why are you going to fight a Sergio Mora? And I know that fight isn't signed, but I know that Mora's been calling him out for a long time, and we all know that Sergio Mora signed to Ayman and, cue in whatever soundbite you want here. He also signed Jonathan Gonzalez from Puerto Rico, La Mantequilla. So, this dude is gobbling up the territory. So basically, he's lining Mora up. He knows Mora's calling him out. He knows the HBO needs an opponent. But why should we continue to accept him? Like, you're talking about Golovkin selling out the Garden and selling out StubHub or being the second guy in the Garden to sell some tickets. But the point is, he's selling tickets versus nobody's. Like, how long are the fight fans going to accept that?
Oh, I didn't say that he should fight Mora. I was just giving an example, saying that before fighters had that excuse, saying that it's that the money they would get from a Golovkin fight is not worth the risk in taking it. But now that he's even a little bit popular, they're beginning to see, maybe this is actually worth it. I'm not saying he should fight Mora. I'm just saying that's what Mora said. That's the fighter's mentality. And Sergio Mora is not a punk. He doesn't duck people, but that's basically the business of it. So if he gets more popular than he already is, for example, like I said, headlining a pay-per-view or something like that, I'm sure these guys will step up to fight him. Like for example, like a Carl Froch or somebody like a Peter Quillen endorsement or something like that. I'm even Peter Quilling, I'm still a little shaky about that. But at the end of the day, if they get the opportunity to get some exposure against this guy who's, you know, taking out his opponents, and now he's a pay-per-view star, add to that, then I think they'll have more incentive to take those fights. But it all depends on the fighter. You're right. We can never expect anything from boxing the way the business is nowadays. But that's the only way I see. You can't force them to get in the ring, like Tom Loeffler says. You just can't.
Yeah, I mean,
and even if he goes up to 168, there's really nothing there in terms of marquee value except Andre Ward, and he's in litigation. That's not even a pay-per-view fight as it is. You have Chavez. I don't know if Chavez Jr. would take that fight.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with Golovkin because it's becoming a problem, these opponents. But for those that don't know and use the Boxing Voice for their source of news, again, we're doing a 30-day weigh-in results for Golovkin. And that's Gennady Golovkin, and for Marco Antonio Rubio. Golovkin weighed in at 165, while Rubio came in 30 days before the fight at 174.5. This fight is going to take place Saturday, October 18th, and it's headlined Mexican style. This is why we got Antonio Rubio. This is meant to elude that this is going to be an all-action fight, and these two styles do indicate that. The problem is, how reluctant is Rubio going to be after watching so many before him be destroyed by Golovkin? You know, Daniel Gill was a very good opponent, very credible opponent, and till that point, very durable. And Gennady got him out of there in 3 rounds. Matthew Macklin, pretty much the same thing. Curtis Stevens, he went some rounds. I'm not sure did he go more than Rosado, but his face will forever be famous after getting hit by that punch and making that face that everyone's seen all over, you know, memes and Google, just all together. So anyway, October 18th, Mexican style, headlined by this, of course, highly anticipated 12-round world middleweight title fight between boxing's fastest rising star, the WBA and IBO middleweight champion Gennady Triple GZ Golovkin, 30 wins, 27 by KO, and the WBC interim title is going to be on the line, which is held by middleweight champion Marco Antonio Rubio, El Veneno. He has 59 fights with 6 losses and 51 KOs. The thing is, I don't know. I think his last biggest KO was Lemieux. Yep. That's probably the biggest KO he's ever had in his career. So, how much credit do you give him for that when, well, he got stopped by Pavlik. That's about it. I mean, I'm expecting, now let's see, this guy's lost 3 times before this by knockout, so yeah, we should just chalk him up to being knocked out as well. But on the undercard of Golovkin-Rubio, of course, is going to be the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, 33-2 with 21 KOs, and he's going to be taking on the undefeated champion Nicholas Waters. Last time we see Nicholas Waters was also on HBO, and we seen him basically handling Vic Darchinyan fairly easy. So Nicholas the Axeman Waters is going to be taking on Nonito Donaire. Another title shot for Donaire. And I believe this may be a unification, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Walters, the battle to determine the undisputed World Boxing Association featherweight champion Donaire versus Walters is presented by Top Rank. Well, it looks like only one of them have a belt. I tried to argue that with someone before, but let me get to some callers. Again, 30-day weigh-in. What's your thoughts? What do you think about Triple G being just 5 pounds away from his fight weight 30 days out?
He's big deal. He's a big fighter. Thank you very much, Dan.
757, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, yo, this is Lex from VA, man.
Lex, what's up, brother?
Hey, my thing is, what if he can be 5 pounds over 160 now, does that mean he can make 154? And if so, Don't that leave a lot of options on the table?
It does leave a lot of options, but I mean, he's been fighting guys at 54. He's not gonna kill himself to make 54 unless it's a big fight. Like they've said it, you know. Abel has said it to me numerous times. I mean, the audio's up on YouTube. He said that Gennady will get down to 54 for Mayweather, but that's Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna get down there for Canelo when Canelo's already a big boy, and they're not gonna put Canelo in there. I mean, forget about it. That fight with Cotto's out there. That's why that fight is never gonna happen for Golovkin before it happens for Canelo. It's just a bigger fight with Canelo. But he's definitely got options at 54. The thing is, you know, are the guys going to fight him? And the ones that do want to fight him at 54, he's the bigger draw, so he's going to make them come up the way that he made Rosado come up and the way that he'll probably make Sergio Mora come up.
Yeah, that's all I really had. I know you got a 30-minute show. I'm going to get up out of here.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in, brother. I know this is a spontaneous show, man. Thanks for participating. Let me see. 856, you're live. Who's this?
What up, Ness? It's Chris from Jersey.
Chris, what it do, baby?
Ain't shit, chilling, man. Just on this new iPhone 6 that I'm loving. This shit is bad. You got the 6 Plus?
Man, that's a whole nother podcast. But it is. I had to order it, man. I had to order it because I had pre-ordered the shit, right? And then I took the day off because I had to buy my son one anyway. So I was like, fuck it, we're going to stand in line for him. I might as well get mine same day instead of waiting for it to deliver. So I canceled my order. And I went to 7 AT&T stores and 3 Apple stores, and no one had the 6 Plus. So I just got him the 6, and I had to reorder mine, so it's not coming till October, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think Apple made enough for the 6 Plus because I don't think they thought the demand was going to be there, and the fucking demand was crazy. Like everybody wanted that motherfucker where I was at. But anyway,
so which one
yeah,
did
you're
you
right.
get?
That's something else. I got the 128. I got the regular, the 6, the 4.7 inch. I just wanted that. I had the big screen ass LG G3. I switch phones every like fucking 3 months, so sometimes even shorter than that. But I'm gonna keep this fucker because this shit is bad. This iPhone 6 is the shit. But again, that's another podcast. GGG is a beast, man. It's not surprising. It's kind of like what's my man's name? Hassan? Where's he from? Detroit? What's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he said. I mean, the dude's fighting so much. You know, if his pop wouldn't have died, he would have had 4 fights. I mean, he had 3 so far.
Yeah.
So he's always training. You know what I mean? You know, and he's a beast. And I'm a guy that really, you know, I'm not on the bandwagon hard like saying he's the greatest pound for pound fighter out now. I mean, like I was shocked when Jim Lampley had Kovalev and him so high on the pound for pound. I mean, especially Kovalev. I mean, Gennady, he passes my eye test. He does some fucking incredible things in the ring, man. Even if it's against the competition it's against, you know, there's no denying it. You know, he took incredible shots from Curtis Stevens. Say what you want about him, but that motherfucker could bang. He could bang with the best of them. And he ate his shots. And you know, if you just know boxing, you can see him. He does special shit in there. You know what I mean? He's a very well conditioned fighter. And he just can't get the fights because of the business of boxing. And you know, as fucked up as it is to say, as long as he keeps running through top 10 guys, what's Rubio? Is Rubio in the top 10?
Yeah, he's in the top 15.
Top 15, okay. You know, if he keeps running through the top, you know, 10 or you know, not so much 15, but run through the top 10 guys. I mean, it is.
Listen to this. I hate myself for always doing that because we had this debate earlier a couple of shows ago. But Marco Antonio Rubio is number 7 on our rankings. It's hideous.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I'm sure he'd probably be in a similar spot in somebody else's rankings too. So, I mean, you know, it's not like, you know, this fucking guy he's fighting. You know, he's fighting top 10, maybe top 15 guys because they're the fights that he could get. And it's because the business of boxing. It's like it's crazy because the business of boxing is bad for boxing, and it's just not him. And I'm not one of these guys that say people are afraid because I think for the most part, these guys are fighters, man. This is what they do. They fucking punch each other in the face for a living. So, you know, like when people have said this guy was afraid or Mayweather was afraid or Cotto was afraid, it's really all about dollars and cents to them. And it's fucked up because there's so many good fighters and like the caller before said, if he's at 160 now, Couldn't he do 154? Yeah, he could do 154, but he would only do 154 for the right price. So a guy like Demetrius Andrade, who really nobody talks about people ducking him, but you could say the same thing because the guy's extremely fucking talented at 154, and he can't get big fights. That's a fight that could happen. You know what I mean? That's a fight that could happen, Demetrius Andrade and him. But again, it doesn't make business sense. You know, because either they're not big enough, or it's not a pay-per-view fight, or it's Andrade, it's too much of a risk. And there's similar situations all throughout boxing with different promotional companies. You think about the talent that's at 140 or 147 or 154 or 160. That the guys could be matched up against each other, but they don't. They just don't. I mean, and the Mayweather-Pacquiao thing is the top of the cake. It's like two biggest guys, and they can't fucking get it done. So I'm still excited to see him because I enjoy seeing him fucking knock these dudes out. I'm looking forward to this the Korobov fight. That's not the same night. That's a different night, right?
I'm not even sure. It's probably no, it's a different night because the undercard is Nicholas Walters and Donaire.
Yeah. And I want to see what Donaire got too, because Donaire ain't looked the fucking same since Rigo fucked him up.
Yeah, man.
he ain't looked the same since then. I mean, I thought he was losing the fight to Vic. If Vic would have if Vic Darchinyan would have been smart, I think he could have pulled that off and just squeaked out a decision. If I'm not even mistaken, I think he was winning on the card at the time. I can't remember. I might be wrong, but so I don't think he's been the same since. But no, that's all I got, man. Motherfuckers better be scared of Triple G. The boy ain't fucking playing. He's constantly training. He's just a bad boy, man. I hope we get to see him in there tough. And you never know. I mean, with this, if Andrade beats the shit out of Korobov, because then they came up together, kind of, Korobov and Triple G. I think I heard somewhere maybe they fought in the amateurs and shit, and Triple G beat him. But so you never know. You never know. Andrade could really beat the shit out of this guy, shine doing it, get up a little bit, and maybe get that fight. But just a lot of fights, man. They need to be made, and they're not being made. A lot of people talk about Al Heyman too, like it's just him. It's just not him. It's just not him. It's a lot of fucking people. Okay, because Andrade's out there. He ain't with Heyman, but you don't see nobody running to fight him, do you?
Well, he is with Heyman, Chris. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Demetrius Andrade's with Heyman?
Mm-hmm.
He's
been with Heyman for a long time.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, I've been following Andrade for so long, dude. That's a whole nother podcast. But I used to write stories about how he was fighting whack people, and he used to get at me, and now we good friends. But yeah, man, Andrade's been with Heyman for a long time.
Damn.
Yo, Heyman.
Really?
Heyman been doing his thing, man. But let me get to some other people here, man. We got a couple of minutes left.
No doubt.
469, you're live. We're talking 30 days out, and Golovkin is already at 165, but Rubio is at 175. What are your thoughts?
90 seconds.
Man, what's up with it, man? Miguel here in town again, baby.
What's going on, brother? Talk to me.
Man, dude, let me tell you something about Triple G, man. I got on the bandwagon since back when I first saw him fight Rosado. Remember that fight?
Absolutely.
Man, that dude's a beast. Man, he's a beast, bro. I don't care what you say, man. I've seen some comments that Rosado said about him. He hit hard, boy. Look how he licked his face all bloody. This boy's a beast. I'm going to tell you right now. They were talking about that Canelo fight. I was a Canelo fan, but he got me doubted now. See, he fought Law and all that. He got a lot of learning to do. I told my wife, he fight Canelo, he's going to retire his ass. He's going to put him to sleep. Put him all that. I don't even think that fight's going to ever happen. I don't think Gold Point is going to let him do that. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, if he's already at 160, I don't think he's going to have any problem being at one. What's the weight that's supposed to be in? What's the weight?
160
is 154?
No, 160 is the fight, and he's already at 165.
Dude, and it's got man, no problem, bro. That is it, man. You know what? And I was looking at
10 seconds
back when he fought in San Antonio. Remember last year?
Yep.
Was it last year? Oh, yeah. Went to see the fight. Actually, we saw him at IHOP. He was out there eating. We took pictures with him and everything. But then I remember when we saw that fight, when I told my brother, hey, man, you see the fight Triple G. He's like, dude, that dude with the one that's got the skin on? And I said, yeah, him. You know, his skin is kind of, they got the skin kind of, got the marks and things. And I told him, yeah. He's like, dude, really? I said, yeah, he's going to put him to sleep, bro. He's going to put that boy to sleep. Man, he's a beast, bro. I think he's the future, man. I just like the way, because he's got, what, like 400 amateur fights, right, on his belt?
350?
350? Shit, so there you go. Yeah. So my old lady, I'll give him about 4 or 5 rounds. He'll put him to sleep. And I just love the way he boxes, just the way he knows how to close that ring, you know. He put them box in the corner. I just told my old lady. As a matter of fact, my wife, every time when he comes out, she even got him on his wallpaper talking about I'm a boyfriend. I said, all right, you might want to sleep outside, girl. But yeah,
well, let me get to some other callers, brother.
Man.
Thanks for calling in, brother. I'm going to get to some other people here. We're going to get to my boy, man. He's been in and out, but now he's back.
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Yeah, well, I had to switch phones because I'm eating dinner, Ness. But look, it's simple with Golovkin. He's got no choice but to beat up everybody in the 160 division. And if people want to avoid him, they just have to offer each opponent more money to entice them to get in the ring. Like he's got to beat up the Sam Solomons, and he's got to go over to Germany and beat the Felix Sturms. He's got to continue to dominate the way that he has, because that's the only way that once he beats up everybody that he can get his hands on, then whoever's left, whether it's Canelo or Cotto or whoever might be left after that, they'll have no choice but to deal with Golovkin eventually. And he's going to be able to do the same at 168 with Andre Ward tied up in court, and with and people like Froch and stuff. If they want to make money, they're eventually going to have to step in the ring with him. So we don't like it the way it's set up, but as long as fighters can avoid him, this is the path he's got to take. He's going to totally destroy Rubio. That fight will not go past 6 rounds. And he's just going to have to continue to knock people out, look impressive, continue to stay in shape like he is now. 165 30 days before a fight, that's impressive. You don't have to worry about this guy ever eating too much food, ever blowing up in weight. And if the opponent, whoever he may be, in this case it's Rubio, if they don't want to take the fight seriously, then that just works to Triple G's advantage.
But Robbie, what about the flip side and the fact that he's already so low so early?
Well, what I would like to find out, and maybe you can do some research, is he always this low 30 days before a fight?
Well, according to Wasan, yes. Let's bring him on. The president of the Triple G fan club, you're live.
You're serious? You're serious?
Yeah, that's his walking around weight. Not 165. What I heard from Abel was 167 is what he walks around at. And again, that can be due to him just fighting so often throughout the year. He basically has no he can't blow up in weight. Fighting every 2-3 months.
The only thing I'm concerned with Wasan is when he takes fights over in Monte Carlo and fights these nobodies. What purpose does that serve? He needs to have all of his fights on TV so people can see him on a regular basis, and no more taking fights off TV, if you know what I mean.
Well, he wasn't supposed to take that last fight with Adama in Monte Carlo. He was actually scheduled to fight Martin Murray, and Martin Murray pulled out, so they had to find the last-minute replacement.
Okay. I agree with you. I think he's just going to have to continue fighting the way he's been fighting and beat up everybody that they put in front of him. And eventually he's going to run out of people. And the bigger name fighters, such as Chavez, Froch, Ward, when he gets his legal stuff straightened out, Cotto, Canelo, whoever's left, Quillen. They're going to have to eventually, get their cojones in order and step in the ring with the dude.
Well, the thing is this. While we criticize this man for a long time, he's only 1 or 2 fights from this resume going from mediocre to phenomenal. Because if he continues in this path of beating everybody, like, these names start to look good because they're consecutive wins versus the likes of then undefeated Proska, then a very popular Gabe Rosado at that point. Remember, he had all those NBC Sports Network wins over Karras and wins over Whitaker and Shakur Powell. So when Golovkin fought him, that was a pretty good win. Nobuhiro Ishida, remember, he was coming off of the James Kirkland knockout, so he was pretty big then. But we knew what we were getting with all these fights. But I'm saying, once you continue in this manner, after that, Matthew Macklin, 3rd round destruction. Curtis Stevens, 8th-round TKO. Then he went over there to Monte Carlo and fought Ndama, 7th-round TKO. Then Gil, a 2-time world champion, 3rd round TKO. Now, he goes and he knocks out Rubio, and he tops the cake with a Cotto. This resume becomes very solid. He goes over here and he gets a Sergio Martinez without a title. I don't know what that does for him. But a Chavez, again, this resume gets very impressive. A Frotch, this resume gets very impressive because these are all consecutive, notable names.
Well, Ness, I don't know if Cotto gets past Canelo. If Cotto decides to fight Canelo, what if Canelo wins and claims that title? Then a Canelo-Golovkin fight would probably be more interesting because Canelo is a young and upcoming middleweight, and actually, that might be the first person to ever test Golovkin because Canelo has been in with Mayweather, he's been in with Lara, he's been in with top names. So he might be the fight that we're all looking for if Canelo goes ahead and fights Cotto and beats Cotto.
Well, that's something that could happen, but a lot has to happen before that even takes place. But right now, this was just going to be a little quick 30-minute show because I am impressed by Gennady Golovkin being so physically fit, 30 days out. WBC conducted their 30-day weigh-in, and Golovkin came in at 165. Marco Antonio Rubio weighed in at 174.5. Both fighters look to be excellent and prepared for their August 18th showdown. Again, 175, I don't know. I'm a little afraid of that for Rubio, but this is Mexican style, baby, and this is the Boxing Voice, and this was
Thank you very much
to all you out there for tuning in always. Remember, like us on Facebook. Yeah, you can do that too. But YouTube, like us and share us, please. And on Blog Talk, do the same. iTunes, you already know, man. 5-star reviews is what we need from you guys. So continue to do that for us.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And we're Beeb's a little tied up. He was doing some editing, but you never know. I might be right back, but without Blog Talk, because I do want to talk about Andrade. But if not today, tomorrow, whatever, man. We're here, and we're here to stay, and we're going to continue to bring you, numerous content. So, with that being said, hey guys, I just want to send a special thank you to all of you guys that are listening to the Boxing Voice and downloading us on iTunes, rating us 5 stars. We would like you to continue
Welcome
to
back
us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at the Boxing Voice, and for anybody interested in writing for the site, you can definitely do so by shooting us an email over at theboxingvoice@yahoo.com. Address your email to Victor Salazar. He's the editor-in-chief. Send something over that he can read. If he likes what he reads, you're part of the team. And remember, leave a 5-star review. You're already part of the team. Later, guys. Till next episode.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.